Now to Illinois, where Democratic Governor J.B. Pritzker signed a bill today that effectively makes Illinois the first state in the nation to end book bans. The law cuts funding to any public libraries or schools that do not adhere to the American Library Association's Library Bill of Rights, which prohibits the removal or restriction of reading materials due to partisan or personal disapproval. For more now, I'd like to welcome Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker to the show. Thanks so much for joining us, Governor.
Great to be with you, Lindsay.
Now, you've said that it's important not to erase history, but embrace it, quote, warts and all. Why is preventing book bans so important?
Well, as you know, there have been many attempts over the last year to take books off the shelves across the country, and they're mostly focused on marginalized communities. These are books that are about racism or about Black history. They're books about the LGBTQ community. And the effort is not really to protect children, like they say. The effort is to marginalize people, to make them feel unwanted and unaccepted in their communities. And so we wanted to fight back and make sure that no one is left out and that their histories are on the shelves.
The American Library Association cited 67 attempts to ban books in Illinois in 2022. One of those books is the memoir Gender Queer by Maya Kobabe, which explores non-binary gender identity. That effort failed. But how do you respond to parents who say that it should be up to them to decide what their children read?
Well, that's exactly what this bill does. This new law allows parents to make the decision about whether their children will be able to get that book and make the decision about whether they don't want to present that to their kids. So this isn't about taking things away. I believe in freedom. I believe in the freedom to read and to understand and learn. And that's what libraries and librarians do. We should let librarians do the work that they have always done. They get to choose what books get put on the shelves, but they also are prohibited from, taking books off the shelves for political reasons or because there's somebody who personally disapproves.
So let me play devil's advocate here for a moment, Governor, and let's say you have a librarian who puts a book like Gender Queer on the library school shelf, and then a parent says, well, now my child brought this book home, or they read this book, and I didn't give the permission. I wasn't able to establish, whether or not they could read it.
Well, communities hire the librarians in their libraries. They're experts at this. And all we're really saying is that the libraries need to adopt a standard. There has to be some kind of a standard that they're living by. And that Bill of Rights that the American Library Association has put forward is one that simply says that you can't take a book off the shelf simply for personal disapproval. Remember, there's some other family that might think that that book is just fine.
The Illinois law grew out of opposition to moves in several conservative states. You've publicly called out Florida Governor and Republican presidential candidate Ron DeSantis for his attempts to censor what he calls woke literature. In your opinion, is this more about what's in the books or scoring political points?
Well, I think that we ought to be standing up for freedom. The folks who say that they're for freedom on the other side of the aisle actually are trying to take freedom away. They're trying to take a woman's right to choose away. They're trying to take your freedom to pick whatever book you'd like to read away. They're taking the freedom to, frankly, go to a 4th of July parade without getting bullets rained down upon you with a semi-automatic weapon away. So we're the ones who are standing up for freedom. It's the other side that has the George Orwell doublespeak from 1984 that says that they're for freedom, but actually they're taking it away.
Finally, your name has been floated as a possible candidate for higher office, though you say you will support President Biden's re-election campaign. Our own polling shows that more than 60% of Americans think that President Biden does not have the physical health or mental sharpness to serve effectively. Should Democratic challengers like Robert Kennedy Jr. and Mary Williamson get a fair shot at the nomination?
I'm flattered to have been considered among people who might run for president, but President Biden has done a terrific job. Remember, he brought us out of the COVID pandemic. I mean, he made sure that those vaccines got into arms across the country. And that's why we're able to be open and free now. And President Biden is somebody who carries with him an enormous amount of empathy. I think that's something that Americans really admire about him.
And just one quick follow. So his age, being 80 years old right now, not a concern for you for another 4 years?
Well, he brings all the experience that comes with that. And remember, this is somebody who in the last 2.5 years has gotten more done than most presidents get done in 4 or 8 years. And he's brought Republicans and Democrats together to get it done. So there's no reason to think that he isn't going to be able to do that for the next 4 years, too.
Governor Pritzker, we thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate you coming on.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.